Alright everyone, it's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm Geoff.
And we're playing Titanfall. Little
Oh,
over
yeah.
a year old now, Geoff. Came out in March 2014.
Badass robots. Yeah.
Giant mechs falling out of the sky, crushing people and shooting shit up.
Yeah.
That's my type of game, Geoff. My type of game.
Straight away when I see this, it takes me back to the days of Mech Warrior.
Back to Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my love of giant robots in video games goes all the way back to Chrome Hounds. Chrome Hounds on the Xbox 360 was absolutely brilliant. The day they shut the servers off for that game, I wept a little. It was oil. It was slick.
Nice.
But so we were playing Titanfall. I got this the day that it came out. I got an Xbox One excited about getting Titanfall.
I was going to say, it's like your opportunity to get back in, isn't it? Once you lost Chrome Hounds.
Exactly.
Like,
It's been so long. So in Titanfall, there's disappointingly, there's only 3 types of robots. We have the Atlas, which is, it's a sort of good all-rounder, really. It can take the damage, it can move around. We have the Strider, which is the weakest, but it's the fastest.
Skinny.
And we have the Ogre, which is the slowest, but the toughest. I mean, it's broken down into absolute basics.
Yeah.
Now,
Alright.
so you're like, okay, so there's only 3 classes. How about customization? Well,
Okay.
there's not really much customization either.
Alright.
How about upgrades? Well, no, not really much in upgrades either. There's a select few amount of weapons, which are interesting enough.
So 6 different guns.
6 different guns, and each
Right.
gun has just a couple of upgrades, which you very easy to get.
Yeah.
They also have tactical abilities. You can see I'm pumping the electric smoke, which is good for when enemy pilots are going to rodeo me. Cluster missile I like to use because it just fires off one steady missile. You don't need to have a lock-on target, and it'll continue to explode in the area. So,
Well, sometimes less is more. Like, I don't necessarily think that not having masses and masses of guns is necessarily a bad thing. You just sort of tend to master a few anyway. When you do have a lot of guns. So
when the game,
if those guns are all good and they're all balanced,
they're all balanced, and they all have their own functions, especially on different maps and against. If you have a different selection of weapons within the team, it does work quite well.
So it's all right.
So,
though, yeah, you're not feeling that like the loss.
I feel that like there was a lack of customization in the game, but it does make up for it in very interesting levels and fantastic gameplay. So I'm at the controls right now, and I'm just jumping into some multiplayer.
So Titanfall is pretty like, I mean, I own Titanfall on the PC. We're looking at it right now on the Xbox, aren't we? On the
Xbox One, yeah.
And I gotta say, like, I've played a little bit on your Xbox as well, and it's fast, it's furious, isn't it? It's like frantic
It's
pace.
so frenetic and so fast. I obviously we've talked about Destiny recently, and I got to play some Destiny multiplayer, and I got on the swing of it for a little while, and then I was like, oh yeah, but what about Titanfall? I've heard that all the DLC maps are now free. Might as well go pick them up and give it a whirl, because I did quite enjoy that game. And I'm so happy that I got all the maps back and I came back to play this again, because the multiplayer was so refreshing after playing something like Destiny where it was so slow. You realise how slow that game is when you compared to when you're playing this.
Yeah, because you sort of computer like first-person shooters have gone in like fashionable trends, haven't they? Really, like
Definitely.
You had the old days where you had not very sort of realistic physics.
It
like
used to
Quake.
be all about Unreal and Quake
Unreal,
and
yeah.
Counter-Strike, perhaps.
Well, that's when it started to become about the Counter-Strike turned it, didn't it? Counter-Strike came out. You had the sort of Half-Life engine, and that got modded into Counter-Strike, and that was really, like you would say, the birth of the popularity of the tactical modern warfare shooter.
Yeah.
And then like Call of Duty came out.
And now it is all about you're either a Call of Duty player or a Battlefield player.
Yeah, that's it. And then so like but people are getting a bit tired of that, and I mean this game's born from Respawn Entertainment, which is actually which is itself like the 2 of the guys were from Infinity Ward, weren't they?
That's right. This game has its origins in the camps of Call of Duty. I can see that. I can see that in the fact that you can run and gun in this game just like you can in Call of Duty. It doesn't really require too much teamwork. which, as you can see, I mean, I'm in a game right now. It's a capture the flag game, and it would have been ideal to have some teamwork here, just because you need to coordinate with your team. Haha, showstopper. So that's what I like about the cluster missile. It hits a target and continues to attack. I'm being rodeoed right now, so I'm just going to use my smoke, and that instantly will discharge that pilot. He won't want to stick around.
So you got, I mean, it's a feature we've seen suddenly, like in a few games recently. But you got rocket boots essentially, haven't you? So as you jump around, you're actually kind of like able to just jetpack around, and also
it's like
run
parkour running. That's right.
Just pull yourself up and down obstacles real easily, like you're just flying around.
Exactly. That's what makes it so frenetic and so fast. Is just your maneuverability. You know, you can. If I look up there, I mean, I could get up there or jump. You know, it's not the best example, but there are some in some of the other levels. There are some pretty tall buildings, and you can maneuver and jump around. And obviously, if you're armed with a sniper rifle, you can literally cause havoc to the other team.
Is there any aim down sights type thing, or is it all kind of hip fire action?
Well, it depends on how you want to play, because there are some perks and some weapons that are better fired from the hip, and then there are some which you just
sniper rifles always aim down sights, but
exactly, yeah. So,
but you just got a kind of zoom function on what looks like really a hip fire in your Titan.
In my Titan, yeah, I like to just use the heavy machine gun, just because I can hit Titans and I can hit grunts and enemy pilots with relative ease. Of all the weapons I've used, it's the one I always default back to, and as you see with my pilot, I'm also just using standard assault rifle. It's good balance. Now, there's something else that the game does have, and it's called burn cards. You might have saw me use one just now, and that was increasing the drop rate that my Titan was going to come in on. Yeah. But there are so many different types of burn cards.
They're kind of buffs, aren't they, that you can use?
They are, and you can equip 3 every round, or sorry, every game.
You can use them whenever you're about to respawn, can't you?
Every time, well, yeah. So you can see now that I've got a turbo engine there in my random card. I've got prosthetic legs, which I'm going to take now.
Okay.
And a capture the flag, it could be quite useful for that extra speed.
Movement speed.
You might also see me running into a few walls. It's been a little while since I've played Titanfall.
So, like, yeah, I mean, when did you buy this game? Did you get it on day release?
I got this on day of release, and I also have to say, I had nothing but problems the first few weeks of getting the game with servers. The servers were... I don't know whether it was just me or whether it was my net setup, but I kept getting disconnected mid-game over and over and over again.
Right.
And there wasn't much support straight away because it was all new. It was the Xbox One was still new, the game was new, the servers had not really been tested. I mean, we all know the problems that Battlefield 4 had when that came out, and that was also an EA game. So I didn't really know what the problem was, and I mean, we're talking about March 11th last year. Titanfall also came out on a very important day of another game that I was most interested in, and also purchased the same day.
Right. What was that?
Dark Souls 2.
Ah, okay.
And so with the server issues I encountered with this, along the release of Dark Souls 2, Titanfall didn't get much love for me.
Okay.
And then I went back to Battlefield, and then obviously over to Destiny. I only came back to Titanfall recently once all the maps became available for free, and realized how good a game it actually was.
So what do you mean there by all the maps became available for free?
Well, there were 3 map packs for the game, and I think they were selling at £15, $15 when they came out.
Right.
And
which is pretty How many maps are you getting? 3?
I think there's 3 or 4 maps in a pack. Yeah, which is pretty decent.
12 levels for £15.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
But they also added a horde type mode. It's called Frontier Defense.
Yeah.
And it's basically you as a player and 3 other players, is it 3 or 4? I can't quite remember. But you've got to survive almost endless waves of monsters. You can defeat it.
Yeah.
Some levels have more enemies than others.
It's just horde mode.
But it's just like horde mode. I mean, you could be swamped with like 60 nuclear titans coming at you.
Yeah.
or 100 grunts, and it's just like it's awesome because you get to get in your Titan and just mow down enemies.
Well, I have a confession to make. It was watching you play that Horde mode that persuaded me to buy it on the PC because they had a sale on, and I'd seen you play that just like the week before, and I thought, oh, brilliant. So I managed to get, I guess it was after they'd made all the DLC free for the Xbox. The PC version, they did a sale and sold Titanfall with all the DLC for like 15 pounds.
See,
I think
that
it
was an
I
absolute bargain.
can't remember exactly, but it was so cheap, you know. I thought that's actually a fair amount of content there for a decent price. So,
and it's always nice to see.
Yeah, they got my money anyway.
Now, that was one thing I was talking about, because Titanfall 2 has been announced, or talked about at least, by the games makers. And they actually talked about the DLC model, because when the DLC did release for the game, it split its small install base straight down. There wasn't enough players playing all the different content to justify anybody being able to play it. So when they actually made all the maps free, the people that had purchased the maps could then all of a sudden had so many more people to play against.
Yeah, that's cool.
And of course, when they were talking about the second game, they discussed that obviously being an Xbox exclusive, it hurt them. It meant the game wasn't as popular, and meant, you know, half the amount of gamers in the world got to play it.
Yeah, this is
Now,
the thing. Like,
and that was a big thing.
I guess
that
Microsoft
gets a lot of flack for when they get their paid timed exclusives, or their just solid exclusives.
Yeah.
Case in point with the recent Tomb Raider. Oh, snappy. And so the games makers talked about the DLC, what they plan to do for Titanfall 2. It's to be free, because they didn't want to split their game base again between those that brought it and those that didn't. And they've been looking at Evolve's model for how you can release maps and just make them free. It just gives more content for the people to play, and it keeps them coming back, and it keeps them loyal. It's a good service. Paying constantly for little bits here and there, it's wearing people thin. And the games makers that are tuned into the gamer base are listening, and they know.
Trying to bring the content.
And they're trying to bring the content at a reduced price. Oh, that's disgusting, Jeff.
Excuse me. I was losing my voice there.
Sort out your throat, Willie.
So yeah, I mean, do you think that the this whole kind of like birth of Respawn Entertainment might have come out of a kind of conflict between these guys and
something definitely went
like
on
Infinity
with
Ward's leads and
with the two guys at Infinity
Activision?
Ward and Activision. Something definitely went awry. Because now I can only imagine working for Infinity Ward, and been working there since since Call of Duty 1, which was PC only back in the time. You remember when Call of Duty was World War II game? The World War II shooter?
Yeah,
you remember back then?
I really do. It was great.
But I can only imagine being typed to a studio or a company, being forced to make sequel after sequel after sequel. I mean, I think it got ridiculous. I mean, could you imagine if they kept numbering all the Call of Duties? They'd be up to like, what, 15 now? But they stopped numbering them, or made the different factions of them all.
This is it. Like, clearly Activision's like, ka-ching! Yeah, all you suckers are just going to keep buying this shit year in, year out. And it's turned into like the FIFA franchise where, you know, like hardly any alterations occur. Just bang out another few maps. And they charge another 40 quid for it. It's like, you know, it's such a factory chain that, you know, they've got 3 studios on the go, admittedly, but that means that they can have 3-year development cycles with each developer, but still churn them out every year.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, they're just doing it to order on a contract. They're not doing it for the love of what they're creating. They're just, you know, it's just a money-making enterprise, and that. You can really tell that, especially with the way the DLC gets set up, and it becomes less and less value.
Yeah.
That there's less and less soul in the game, and I can see that Titanfall has escaped, to a certain extent, a lot of that kind of attitude. You know, like clearly they wanted to give you a pretty decent amount of content for your money,
which is something that they've continued to do, and for free. I mean,
I think maybe they hoped that they would be more popular and maybe didn't have to make it so cheap, because what I think you were saying earlier, like there's not so many people on the servers now.
I think I checked just before we started recording, and I think there was 3,500 odd gamers playing worldwide right now.
So that's on Xbox Live.
On Xbox Live, yeah.
And how many Xbox Live users are sort of online at any one time?
I don't know the exact figures, but I can imagine it's quite high.
Yeah. How many Xbox Ones have they sold? They went past 10 million. Didn't
That's
they?
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So, say like kind of maybe about up to 1 million, maybe 10%.
Yeah. But at least the thing is, I mean, that number is persistent within its gamer base. That number doesn't fluctuate too much. There's usually that many gamers on here. In the last sort of few months that I've come back into playing this, it's been pretty consistent. I've never not got into a game. The rooms have always been populated.
So you're still gonna have to be able to do everything you want to do.
Exactly. It has made no difference. The only downside is to this game is that if you had a group of friends that were playing it at the time, it's a good chance that they've all moved on.
Right.
So it is mainly solo.
It can be a bit lonely.
It can be a bit lonely in terms of getting your regular friends on, but if you're persistent enough and continue to play it, there's nothing stopping you from making acquaintances with those that are still playing the game. Because those that are still playing the game are still having a good time playing it, and the ones that I've spoken to are playing this right up until Titanfall 2 comes out. There's just no other game.
So it becomes this
game. This game becomes like a drug. It's if you just love that adrenaline-fueled shooter, you'll keep coming back to this. And it's the moments that you get into your mechs and you go on massive killing sprees. I just want to talk about the game varieties. I mean, right now we're playing one of the most generic game modes, which is capture the flag, and it does work to all of the game maps within the game. Like every single one of these maps is built for team deathmatch, for capture the flag, for kill the leader, for Titan v Titan.
So you think the map design is pretty good, do you?
I think the map design in this game is brilliant, and it's made some of the maps very memorable. And there's some maps that are just absolutely brilliant for wall running. You can literally get from one side to the other side of the map. If you've got your boost and you know your way around, you can get from one side of the map to the other in about 15 to 20 seconds, just moving it at awesome speed.
So you feel like a total badass, I suppose.
You do feel like a badass, unless, of course, you get over there and get killed quite quickly. So my team didn't pull it together this time. I didn't manage to get to the escape vehicle either. As you can see there on the replay of his cam.
It's hard to play and talk.
It's hard to play and talk, but we only lost 2-0. So I'm not gonna complain too much.
So what about the single player? There was...
Well, as we were talking about content earlier. Now,
what do you think about
in interviews with the makers of Titanfall, they did want a single player experience, but apparently there just wasn't enough time to actually create. Because if you look at any game, the single player experience is an entity of its own. The multiplayer experience is also an entity of its own. Battlefield has forever had shitty campaigns.
Of course, yeah, terrible.
And it's arguable which multiplayer is the best one. I mean, you can argue Battlefield 1949 has still got the best multiplayer.
Yeah.
But they focused entirely on the multiplayer for Titanfall. There is nuances of a story going on through the sort of 10 levels that you play for the Resistance or the Rebels, and the other 10 that you play for the IMC.
Because there is a campaign option on
There is a campaign option, and basically it just involves 10-15 second bit of dialogue at the beginning and end of each level, and it is totally forgetful. However, I say forgetful, I still can remember the ending, where a guy that you don't really meet through the entire campaign sacrificed himself most nobly so that you can complete the mission. And I just remember it being so generic, and
sounds very vague.
Oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Like, really? But at the same time, I still remember it. I remember that this game did it. But they have talked about a possible campaign mode for the sequel.
Okay.
They've said specifically they're looking at expanding on the lore of the game, so you can take from that what you will as to what they're actually going to do.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like a little bit like when I think about this game, sometimes I compare the game to the potential it could have been. And like when you think about Mech Warrior and you think about all those kind of things you could do with your mechs and the way you could customize your mechs and you had like a chassis, and I think of other mech games that did that. Can you do that with Chrome Hounds where you would just kind of like
Did
have a totally custom...
with Chrome Hounds, I never saw. Well, actually, yeah, I take it back. I did see many hounds that were similar, but at least they were different colors and they had their different emblems that you could custom make attached to them. Chrome Hounds was infinite in terms of its hound's design. But of course, once somebody had mastered how to build the ultimate hound and posted the schematics up online,
Everybody was doing the same.
everyone was trying to build that mech, but it was still pretty difficult to actually build that mech because it meant you had to fight for all the different factions over different periods of time in order to hopefully get the different items from the different shops.
Okay.
So it was still difficult tracking all those parts down.
Do you feel that this would have been benefited by more of that content, or do you feel...
Yes, this game definitely is missing out on custom mechization.
So is there any word or rumors of that coming to 2?
Not right now, no. What they have done in this game is I think there was like one voice at default, or may have been 3, that you can have the internal voices of the Titan which talk to you. And they recently released voice packs so that you could have Japanese, German, Russian, all sorts of different voices. And there's even then only when you listen to the English one that you go, right, I guess they're all kind of quite stereotypical voices. But I usually quite like having Jeeves. I call him Jeeves. He sounds a little bit like Jarvis from Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
So he's like the smart AI.
Real tough.
Yeah. But sometimes I also like the Russian voice lady. She likes to keep my seat warm whilst I'm not riding.
I bet she does.
So I mean that was a nice little touch. They also added what's called like the black market, which is where you can earn black market points through doing different daily challenges and different things that you do within the game can earn you these marks, which you can use to purchase other items in the market. More burn cards being key there. There's also more custom emblems you can have for your Titan.
There's an element of customization, but
it's not huge at all now.
So it's almost like, I mean, really, like we've been talking about this Titanfall, and one thing I've noticed about it is when you talk about Titanfall, what you don't really talk about that much is the mechs.
No, that's right.
It's kind of, they kind of augment the game, but they're not necessarily like the sole feature of it, are they?
No, but they do make a big part of combat, because if somebody calls in their mech and the other team don't have any, he shot me out of the tree. I thought I was being a predator and everything. Want some candy?
Yeah, you're marked.
You have me marked. So yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like if you buy Titanfall expecting to have get a mech game, dreaming about Chrome Hounds or Mech Warrior and thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
It's not a mech game. It's a first person shooter with mechs.
Yeah. It is cool. It's Call of Duty with like crazy tools in it, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. But coupled with the wall running, the fact that enemies can come at you at loads of different height advantages,
brings it that real arcadey, fast-paced element.
Absolutely.
So much so that the Infinity Ward or whatever is left. Is it Infinity Ward? Did they feature combat?
They're releasing Call of Duty games, I believe, with jetpacks and wall running. I to be honest, I lost.
Advanced Warfare, isn't it? Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the recent one with all the jetpacks, wall running or whatever. Rocket beasts.
I haven't played a Call of Duty game now for a little while. I do like playing the Treyarch Call of Duty games. I think those are the only ones. The Black Ops series are the only Call of Duty games that I think I'll return to. I think I'm kind of burned out for a little while on them. I do tend to burn out on shooters after a while, except Titanfall for some reason. It's because I'm now pretty much a solo gamer on here. It's pick up and play. And as soon as one match is over, I'm like, it doesn't matter that I lost horribly. or it doesn't matter that I became top of the leaderboards. I'm just ready for another game. It,
Yeah.
like I said, it becomes like my drug of choice. When I just want that adrenaline shot, I'll play this game.
Get yourself pumping.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. So you definitely recommend this game?
I definitely recommend Titanfall. Whether you're going to pick it up on your Xbox One or whether you're going to pick it up on PC, you can obviously use your controller of choice on a PC. You can use a PlayStation controller if you want to.
Sure, yeah, of course, yeah. And you're getting like a slightly higher resolution textures, aren't you? It's sort of,
That's right.
it's
The only
quite
thing
it's
is
a very
it's
big
the
file,
notorious 50 gigabyte audio
download.
file download, and I have to say that the audio in the game is superb.
Oh,
Don't criticize. I mean, yeah, you can criticize the large file size, but the amount of audio that's in this game is excellent. All of the ricocheting bullets, the debris, the Titans, the voice comms that come in. Yes, they're repetitive after you've played it for like 40 hours, but it's still fine. It feels like there's a natural evolving combat going on around you the whole time. I love the sound design in this game. Love the level design. I think graphically it's great. What I would have liked to have seen, but although I'm not disappointed that it doesn't exist, is the Levolution. A lot of people were disappointed. Obviously, this came out after Battlefield. People wanted to see buildings being destroyed. They wanted to see the woods being knocked down. These are fucking mechs firing huge missiles at each other, and yet you don't even leave a scorch mark behind. So it's a little bit disappointing on that front, but at the same time, like I was saying with the level design, the levels were designed to not be destructible, because that's the way the levels were designed.
Yeah,
because
it messes up with
it's the way the
state
wall
of
running
play,
works.
yeah.
It's the way you move around the maps. So, and if you imagine if you had leveled the entire playing field, there's not exactly very many places to hide, or it takes away the old school gameplay away from it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine in them. I think it's totally justified that it doesn't have destroyable terrain.
It's just kind of an artistic choice in some respects, but also it's going to be the technical limitations of the engine they have the license for.
Yeah.
And that they decided to use. I mean,
now there was another. There is another
see...
disappointing thing I would say is the fact that it is only 6v6.
Yeah, right. Okay, so there's it's not like a massive multiplayer
There is another game mode I think which is 8v8, and there's no grunts and no robots running around, and I think there's also no Titans. It's just 8v8 combat.
Oh right. Okay.
So they have
That's
constantly
very much
added
like...
and changed all of the game types that are in the game. It's evolved with the game. It almost felt like when it launched, they didn't know how to make a multiplayer game, because there was things missing and there was things that should have been there that shouldn't have been, but they've refined it and they've grown it. They've added the ranked play system, the sort of a battle system where you can rank up per season. It doesn't really mean anything other than your own prestige, but it's nice to have.
Do you think we're just kind of falling victim again to the typical developer attitude at the moment, which is like you just get your customers to play test your games and then fix it once
it's out? Well, I mean, there was also so much hype behind the game before it came out. I remember every website, every gaming website, every gaming magazine, every gaming channel was covering Titanfall with the beta, with the alpha, with the beta, with the pre-release, with everything.
Yeah.
And it was very quickly forgotten about. And I think I remember checking the Metacritic score, where critically it was given like an 85, whereas the user base, the fan base, actually only gave it like a 6.5, which is only just above average. Now, I think as a launch, that's probably a fair sort of split between a 6 and an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But with the game as it is now, and for the price value it's at, and if you just want a good, solid multiplayer shooter experience, this game I would definitely give an 8 out of 10 to for its multiplayer experience. I have not yet had a better multiplayer shooter on the Xbox One.
Okay.
Than Titanfall.
Even
a year later.
Battlefield.
I don't play Battlefield anymore. I got sick and tired of the players. I got sick and tired of the servers, and I got sick and tired of the transactions and the DLCs. I used to love Battlefield, but I've burnt out. I burnt out on Battlefield just like I did Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But Titanfall keeps me coming back. Maybe that's just my preference. But definitely
There's
play
something
Titanfall.
worth here having a look at if you're looking for something a little bit different.
Definitely, yeah. Final thoughts, Geoff, on Titanfall for yourself?
Yeah, I definitely would recommend getting it. Like, if you can get it on sale, bargain. Like, I got mine for what, £10-15. If you can pay that about that much, yeah, there's loads of content here, and it's a game that I think deserves to get a chance at a sequel to add things that will make it something that it could really be, you know. But then again, you are kind of, you know, like, can you really like spend your money on potential? I mean, yeah, I think so. It really just depends. Like, it depends how EA and their contract with EA goes. I would remain skeptical with any Titanfall 2, and I would want to see, like, again, a good kind of content outlay, a single player campaign, and
Definitely want the campaign mode.
More mech customization and stuff like that. But I paid them my money. I felt that £15 was fair for the amount of content you're getting in this game, and I really enjoy Horde mode as well, you know, so yeah, it is good. I haven't had a lot of time to play it, and there are a lot of other games that sort of preside over it. I'm kind of not in a sort of first-person shooter space like PvP kind of first-person shooter headspace. I haven't been for like about a year or so, a couple of years maybe.
It does come in cycles, I found.
Yeah, it definitely does for me. Like I've not just sort of gone out of favour with the military shooters, but just general kind of PvP. In general, like, I've been playing Destiny recently, but I've been mostly enjoying the PvE, and do put some PvP for like a week, and then that's it. I will, like, you know, won't play it again for a good few months. So yeah, I'm like enjoying strategy games, and I'm really enjoying GTA at the moment, which is sort of third-person shooter, a bit different.
It's definitely healthy to have a good balance of varied games that you do play.
Yeah. So I mean, it's difficult to know, but if you're really hankering for something different, then this is definitely one worth looking at. You know, like, it's now quite polished. Like, as you can see, it's run without a blip in the whole time we've been sort of sat here playing it. So yeah, it's good quality product, and it'd be nice to see what they come up with next. Definitely.
Cool. Okay. Well,
I hope you've been living up to your gamer reputation, Gary.
My gamer reputation. Shut up, Geoff. I've lost the last 2 games. All right. I know. This is why I've decided to play, Geoff. So I could. I've ridiculed you enough.
My turn. My turn.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've been watching this last game. I've let you rabble on for a little while now. And I'm getting some kills. I'm turning it around. So I'm not ending this video yet until this game's over, and I get some good headshots, just like that. Oh, that was a headshot. Boom.
I want to see you be able to, like, I know you can change your missiles and stuff, but I want to see you be able to, like, do custom racks, like a rack of one type of missiles on the left and a rack of another.
Well, that was the thing. The big thing with Chrome Hands was it was massive, huge environments. You'd usually have like 5 to 6 minutes of a game without a single rocket being fired at anyone, because the commander hounds are trying to figure out where the enemies are and where they're moving around to on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Whereas this game, it's just like, oh, there's the enemy. Unload everything you got.
Charging.
I killed him. Took it with me. So right now, I'm only winning by 1 point. My team's winning by 1 point.
There's kind of MOBA influences in this as well. Like,
that's
you'd
right.
You'd say those little fucking robot things are like creeps, aren't they? They're not even like all robots. Some of them are people, I think.
God, that was embarrassing. Okay.
Is it like robots on one side and soldiers on the other, or do they just drop robots and soldiers?
There's both. The grunts and the soldiers are both on. The specters, I believe they're called, are on both teams.
Right.
And in this game mode, they're not actually there for anything other than scenery. They can kill you. And I do believe that there are...
You get Titanfall quicker by killing them, don't you?
That's right,
and you get XP and bonus points for it. So
yeah.
In that respect,
but
it's got
in
that
order
kind
to
of
win this
MOBA
game mode in
influence.
particular, they do nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they and that was what I was going back to with the whole that it's only 6v6, is that the world, each map is filled with its own little unique encounters, like that Spectre fighting that grunt on his own. There's also, on some levels, there's giant monsters lurking in the backgrounds, and they will sometimes swoop in and grab NPC characters and cart them off the map. So it's just fun to see things happening. It makes it feel like you're in the middle of a battlefield, despite the fact that it's not always players. Now,
And it's
I
a
will
fairly
also
small-
say that if you're not very good at shooters,
Yeah.
it's immeasurably satisfying when you've got someone watching and you go around a corner and you kill like 8 grunts and someone sat there going, wow, you've just got like 8 kills in a row and no one's killed you yet, and you sat there like, yeah, I'm badass. Even though you're just killing grunts. It's kind of like a comfort barrier to some players where you might not be particularly good and there's still things for you to do. Like I said, there's also like capture the flag modes, and there's other game modes which you might be better at that as a team than just straight up shooting people. You don't have to be a straight up kill everyone to win the game each time. That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah, it kind of, yeah, you know, like you are still turning the tide even if you can't win the PvP battles all the time.
Yeah. So even if it's a Titan v Titan map, and you get ejected from your Titan like I just did, you could still prey on the other Titans and help your teammates out.
Boom, like that.
Okay, so a bit of
Taking
a loss right
shields,
now.
He's gonna smash it.
Rockets from above. Oh, gotta grade myself. Got hit by a cluster missile.
Nah,
I don't really want to
he's
take
trying
that
to get
weapon. Okay, we're losing by 2 points. I gotta pull this back. Enemy. You can usually tell who the enemy are by
you. The militia or the AMC?
I am the IMC. You can usually tell who the enemy are because they behave differently.
Oh no!
I only really want to be prioritizing pilots because killing grunts
It's not
right
giving
now
you
it's
any
not giving
points.
me any points. Where's he going? I should.
Them.
He's heading up to the roofs. There's an enemy nearby. There's no one up there.
Yeah, it's extremely vertical, the gameplay, as a result of this double jumping kind of wall running thing, isn't it?
That's right, and with the fact that you can be so maneuverable. There's also a parkour class with its own custom guns. I think it's like SMGs, where you can be wall running and spraying.
Oh, nice.
And you can just get killed so easily. There is one gun in this game that I really don't like, and I hope they nerf it or remove it from the next game. And it's the automatic pistol.
Oh, yeah.
You just hold it out in front of you, and after a couple of seconds, it goes bump, 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 locked onto the target. You pull the trigger, and they're dead. It's great in PvE. You know, you can take down a whole squad of grunts in a single pull of the trigger.
Yeah.
But it's just so annoying. I hate that weapon. It is. It is. I don't want to say the word. It's a noob weapon.
You just said it.
Damn it! I did.
said
I
it.
did.
It does take time though. Like if
It
you're
does.
squaring up against somebody with
it-
that pistol,
But you
you're
usually
gonna kill
find it
them
someone
first.
who's got a cloak, who's hiding in the back room somewhere, and so you
and
know
then
you.
just be like,
Yeah, you'll just never catch them in time, and unless I mean there are other perks that you can use which will highlight enemies through walls, that will illustrate them on your radar.
A lot of developers don't seem to want to alienate people who are shit, though, do they?
No, and like I said, I think this game's got a good enough learning curve for you to get into quite quickly. I thought they were all players, but they were all specters. Is that an enemy? There is an enemy over there. No, it's just a... Now, there is also a perk where you can... your character will look like a spectre. So, at the end, you usually find that people won't
Camouflage.
shoot you if you're a spectre because you're not
Busy
a high
looking for
priority.
pilots,
Yeah, especially in a pilot hunter game. I
for
was the
wank.
hunted. This game's almost over, and I think we've fallen behind too far now.
Teammates letting you down, or how have you been doing? What's your KD?
We'll find out at the end, shall we? It'll be a surprise. So if I go positive, I'm okay. My gamer reputation's intact. Is that fair? Is that
Yeah,
fair?
I'll go on and I'll let you off. Yeah, get him! No,
I can't even
got
get-
away. You got away. Get him!
That's because I was going for the pistol kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got away really.
Ah!
Shot in the back. Damn.
Smashed it.
Okay, well I got a Titan now, and it's the closing part of the game. They only need 5 kills. We need 11.
Well, this is tough. Get him.
He's
That's
done.
One.
took a hit from over here. It was a
Get
Titan.
in. Oh.
It's an auto Titan. Yeah, you can abandon your Titan and leave it to fight for yourself or fight on its own.
That's
It is pretty good at covering your back as well. And again, there is a mod or a perk that you can have on your Titan, which will allow it to fight even better for you.
Have you got a big bomb on yours?
No.
Shield.
Damn it. Bail. Oh shit. That was the
Where
pretty
did that
bad
go?
pretty bad auto eject.
Yeah. That's a weird glitch.
No, I didn't have the nuclear ejection on, which would have caused a nuclear blast.
Both out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, bam! He's so nearly dead though.
There's another Titan just come up the hill.
In time.
And they're both pretty weak. His shields went back up just in time.
Oh,
Fire another rocket. Reload it. Fire, 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 fire away.
Ah!
Got killed by that SMG War Runner.
Did you actually kill hit that Titan? Did you
I
get
don't
him
know.
going critical?
I don't know. I died before
They need
seeing what happened.
One more kill.
They only need one more kill. It's over.
It's over.
Oh, don't step on me. I don't want to be the last one to die. I killed that Titan.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's something.
Eat it. Eat it.
And I got the kill as well.
Oh, they got it. They
Right,
got it.
I guess it's just time to evac. I got to evac. Where's the evac ship? That was a nice little touch that this game has as well, is that as soon as the game's over, it's not immediately over. I know some people are irritated with it. They'd rather just be the game over, get into the next game quicker. But there's the whole get to the dropship. If you're still alive at the end of the timer, or you don't die straight away, there's enough time to try and make it to the evac ship. And I know the enemy are crawling all over it right now.
They want to kill you. Get him. Get him.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's down.
down.
Gotta get... How much time? How much time to the evac ship?
11 seconds. 10, 9, 8,
Can't get up
7,
that way.
6, 5, 4,
Ah.
3, 2,
Jump,
1.
Oh, I will evac.
It's in. It's
I'm
in.
jumping for it.
Get out of here.
Marines, we are leaving.
Yeah. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get some
Anybody else
XP
coming?
for getting in there.
Anyone
Don't
else?
Don't look like it.
Oh, I'm the only one. And my auto Titan got a kill.
Yeah.
I'm the sole survivor.
Oh yeah. Boom. Hot zone extract.
Well, that's something. See,
Yeah.
I like that little extra at the end of the game. So I finished top of the table.
Ah, there you go. Your gamer reputation is
It's intact. See, when I'm focusing more on the
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
I can pull it through.
15 pilot kills. Just quite a few deaths in the process.
Yep.
No one covering your back though, Gary.
No one covering my back. Nope.
Ah, good game, man. Good game.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, everyone, for Gaming Friday. Hope you have an excellent weekend. We'll be back tomorrow for a Dishonored playthrough, or rather, Ian and myself will be back tomorrow for a Dishonored playthrough, and we'll be back next Friday with another gaming video for you. Take it easy, everyone.
Take it easy, boys. And girls.